Sure.
I would like to call the Nome Joint Utility Board meeting of July 21st to order. Can we establish a quorum?
Mr. Barron?
Here.
Mr. Peterson?
Here.
Mr. Knodel?
Here.
Mr. Emmons?
Here.
And Derek looks like he's absent.
I'm taking a motion to approve the minutes. There is no minutes.
We don't have minutes.
I will not take a motion for minutes.
Oh, not second.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented, or is there any edits?
Might be hard to tell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
you didn't want to add any more? So,
First.
second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Barron?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Knodel?
Yes.
And Mr. Emmons?
Yes.
Correspondence.
There wasn't anything noteworthy.
The only thing I think they had for correspondence was the water report, which they just included in the,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go to the utility manager's report.
Thank you. So that's next page back, and we'll let Thomas and he's here, right? Oh, right there. Thank you. And Ken start, and then I'll continue.
2 months worth of operational reports. I'll hit on the big things here. The customer confidence report was submitted on time, and our report from DEC came back with no violations to our system last year, which it's always great to see that. Sarah Ramsey with ARWA was here to conduct the triennial, is that how we say that? Sanitary survey. Based on her initial report, she was very happy with what she saw. She couldn't point to any deficiencies. Then she will submit a final report that we'll share with the board. Completed the generator 15 overhaul, and we've been running that a little bit before the crew went back to work on the boiler project. So we've been running 16, and we've been running 12 and 14 with the windmill. We had EWT up here to help us do a reset on the windmill a few weeks ago. So you've seen that the battery and the windmill are producing. We're also doing our bulk fuel tank inspection that's required every 5 years, the external inspection. New bucket truck. I have a correction to the notes. I wrote Delilah, but it's Delilah Johnson from the village of Solomon. I want to give a shout out to her and the leadership over there for partnering with NJUS in sharing their grid resilience funds with us so that we could purchase this truck, which is, we've talked about it before, but it is a F600 bucket truck, a smaller unit that will work very well along our streets in town. Old news at this point, we've concluded our annual hydrant flushing and found a couple issues with some hydrants, and identified that we also need some training within our crew to be able to address how to repair hydrants efficiently. The main sewer jetting is ongoing. we are almost done with all the mains going west to east on east side of town, and we'll start to do the north to south connections shortly. Great progress on that end for water and sewer. The line crew has been busy as they always are, putting in new services, poles and lines, especially the Hewitt Man Camp has been.
If you didn't see the new wording there. Crew quarters.
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 Yeah, sorry.
Quarters.
Sorry, I live in the old world.
Man-
Quarters.
Crew quarters.
Yeah, according to city code. We had one incident where we had a gold miner crew hit our lines on June 16th, which caused an outage, which was promptly responded to. We did have a power outage on July 14th on City 2, middle of the night, to do some planned improvements to our system. Could also mention that the water and sewer crew had a project on June 17th where they put in a new flow meter at Snake River Pump House and improved the injection spool assembly at Bell's Pump House. Personnel-wise, we saw one separation and we welcomed a new seasonal employee, and we are looking for qualified mechanics for the power plant crew and apprentices for the light crew.
So on that July 14th power outage, generator on 6th Avenue pump house, or the 6th Avenue pumps out the 6th Avenue tank. I thought we'd been testing that and it didn't work. Generator worked.
There's a breaker in the front of the generator that was in the off position, and with that off, it did not go to the transfer switch.
Off or tripped?
Don't know. Got the guys. We're going to take a look at that.
It's probably a shunt trip somewhere.
Probably what?
A shunt trip? East up?
Didn't see one on the outside of the building. Did look for it. But yeah, that's on the.
Have to get your good electrician on there.
Well, it's on our. We have started the conversation, and
Might be on that panel out in the hall. I mean, in the
Yeah.
main.
so we're looking into why that happened. But yeah, we
Yeah, because some sprinkler systems are on pressure, and if they don't have the pressure,
Yeah.
So
as soon as we realized the generator, when we went out and looked at it, I called Daniel Stang and informed him. And
that does mess with our steam boilers.
yeah,
Steam bounds because we can't pump that water up to the penthouse. So yeah, I would say that would be something if the power goes out and we have a fire and we ain't got water, right?
I thought that was supposed to be able to back feed through that pressure reducing station on N Street. Is that not true?
sorry, what was that?
It's supposed to be able to back feed from the powerhouse here through the
Our pressure reducing station.
and bring and keep that part of town up.
You can, but you got to open the valve. I don't think that the valve is normally open, and it's only 50 or 55 psi at ground level.
That'll get to their engines.
Not much, but it'll get up there right up. Shifting to the projects. Front Street, Bearing to Stedman, DOT came up with their base map and have asked CRW to pull together a fee proposal for the water and sewer design as we talked about at the last meeting. Their schedule indicates 2028 construction I'm suspicious that will be met. Front end lift station, we're about ready to advertise. Sepulveda Drive, they still have not advertised that project. So it certainly is going to be 2027 and maybe 2028 construction.
So is there some kind of hope on Stedman, or are those guys just on vacation?
One more time?
On Stedman, I mean, I can't believe they can make money on a job like that, taking a couple of months. Is there a problem with that?
I can't speak to the contractor's finances.
Who knows?
It is a fairly aggressive schedule that they have. They've had good weather. They're working on curb and gutter now, it looks like. I drive by. We've worked with them to replace the castings and manhole lids, frames. We pulled them up. Some of them, or most of them, are a little bit damaged. So the state was good about making us whole. Where are we at? On the power plant, our best project, we're still doing a little bit of commissioning work with SunGrid and the tax credit. We got some draft information on that and gave comments back to the auditors to revise their paperwork. Haven't heard anything from the EDA folks since we submitted on the grant application. The high energy cost grant stack robber, you can see in the photo down there that we have one exhaust gas boiler unit lifted into place. They're working on connecting the exhaust on either side to that. On Monday, the insulating crew will show up to insulate the exhaust. We'll make that thing operational again, and we'll run 15. Crew will probably take off for a week to have a break, and we'll come back and start working on 16. Once 16's exhaust gas boiler's in place, then we will, do everything else.
You know, just to point out, I don't know, on the, look at the old exhaust pipe piece that they've taken out, it's about 3 times thicker than the stuff we put back in. Was that engineered, and who makes those calls? I mean, are we running with less of a product, or are we equal? I don't know how thick that needs to be, but for some reason, or so when they put that in, they thought it would need to be 3 times thicker than what it is. Is there any validity to that?
So that exhaust pipe was spec'd out, this new stuff by EPS. It's part of their design.
Like EPS?
Yes. On the EWT repairs, Q Trucking did some repairs on Old Glacier Creek Road. DOT was really helpful in donating some material to keep that price a little bit lower. One crane is up there assembled, and the other crane is up there being assembled. Could be Thursday we lower the nest cell on EWT number 1. The EWT crew that is here, there's 4 of them. They got here last Tuesday, I think, Tuesday evening. They're pretty much done doing everything they can do until the nacelle comes down. So we're looking pretty good there. Nacelle showed up on the barge, which came in yesterday, maybe? Okay, overnight. But that's going just fine. So we have to do a CMAP project. Oh, there it is. That we were awarded maybe a year ago, but it took us year to do the negotiation with NRL on some paperwork stuff. So we're going to do some work downstairs to upgrade the feeder, the transformer relays, do some programming on SCADA, upgrade the microgrid controller, just modernize. It's all being paid for by Department of Energy, NRL. So the feeder protection relay, for example, for Rock Creek went out maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and they're obsolescent, or they don't make them anymore. You can find maybe something on eBay, and we looked, but we're going to go to the new ones. So coded it to that new project. We'll see how that turns out.
And what about the AMOT valves?
He has picked up the information on the AMOS valves, trying to, yeah, I don't have the information back, but we'll get it.
Is that changing on electric?
Right.
I thought we were gonna do that for years, but sometimes it keeps, I mean, it always seems to slip
Well,
by.
when they were there, that was the one thing I had to add there. It's like,
Right.
These are the ones on the Portzilla.
Yeah. We want to run a great big air compressor, absolutely nothing, because it's slobber air all over the place. You know, and if you lose air pressure, they shut down instantly.
Shifting to the line crew side, we have the Center Creek Road utility work that's being needed to be done by the state's Center Creek Road project. There's two chunks, one by Center Creek where we're going to go under. We have KEI showing up a week after, well, they're going to get a week of hunting in. So I think it's the Wednesday after they're showing up to do the bore underneath Center Creek. Electric power constructors will come to town and do the work to tie in on either side. That's also being paid for by the state. Have the materials on order and going along fine. On the cemetery side, had contact back from Bering Straits, and we'll work something through. Some different discussions underway. Just got some information from the state on different numbers, and we'll give you something to look at. It's good.
You get there? Actually, let me just add a few things here to the deal. Chris is off to the baby shower for her grandbaby son, I believe it is, to be born. When she finished with much of the work for the 22 audit, she took that little break, and we 22, 23, and 24, very close to ready for them to perform their final testing on it. They were here in town for a couple of days and did some inventory work and the like. And then Joy will actually come up to make a presentation of the reports to the board when those are complete.
Do they have a guesstimate on when?
Yeah, I do not know, but I believe it's like within 30 days or something. I think it's pretty darn close to being done. Today we had a conversation with Crowley to find out what the fuel was going to cost for this year, and that is right around $8.6 million is the estimate, $4.30 a gallon or so. It's crept up a little during July from June, and based on information that Crowley is looking at, they feel that it probably isn't going to go any higher. We've also had the discussions with North Rim to get that process going, and with the bond council so that we can sell this as a tax exempt offering. Well, I guess that was like three things in one there. And then, as Ken mentioned, we've had some communication with Bearing Strait, and we'll work that through with them. Appreciate their willingness. And then I was told today that there will be a new suck and shiner in town, and that Madden has sold his businesses. And
JB Services.
now you can get coffee, to
At least be cake and pie.
right, exactly. No, great. More power to them, and we'll sit down and get to an agreement and understanding moving forward as to what happens with dumpings and the like. So, opportunity to reset that one. The city, in their budgeting, doubled the landfill fee, and so people will see the landfill fee being $25 instead of $12.50. Is that right? Yeah. As of this bill, they passed it through the budget ordinance.
Wow.
So Alaska Waste's fees are going up then because as a result?
No, that is not. That shouldn't impact them because that landfill fee is paid by the consumer, so they don't add on top of it.
Okay.
And just want to thank Thomas and Ken, and especially the women. I was unexpectedly out of town for a period of time, and am going one more time to get rid of my cane. So I think that's it.
That's where we're at in the, okay. Here's a draft power purchase agreement put together. There's a cover memo and then a several page write-up on it. Last year, Village of Solomon approached us and said, hey, they'd like to do a rooftop solar project on their office. Not a real big one. And, they've been a great partner to work with and want to do what we can to keep a good relationship going.
I think that's great. I think that we should probably, at this point, encourage it. That we've discouraged it because we had that no net metering.
Right.
But at this point, if somebody else wants to take on the cost of making electricity, whether it's solar or wind or whatever, I think we should encourage it, and not just selectively to certain people. I think it needs to be something that's offered to everybody, and I think that rather than like the utility get involved in a whole bunch of solar panels on a mountain somewhere, let's let the consumers do it. I mean, there's no solar in the wintertime anyhow. It's only going to be a summertime thing when we need to cut our generator usage down to something smaller.
Well, King Island's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
On the back of theirs, and then Solomon has too.
So this proposal would look for direction to allow maybe perhaps an initial number of 4 while we evaluate and just learn about it. Then once we're comfortable with it, then open the doors a bit more.
Don't we have to have some kind of ordinance or anything for that? Something set?
Usually it's a net metering agreement.
Well, this is not net metering. This is as a power purchase. So it's similar to what we were doing with Banner, where we just had a flat rate, which was our avoided fuel cost. That was than what we paid them on that basis. And so they have 2 meters over there. You know, they have the meter coming in, and then they'll have the meter going back out to us. And you know, it's not going to meter a whole lot because it's not that big of a deal. But you know, this gives us an opportunity to test it and, you know, see if there's any issues. You know, if somebody has a huge one, we probably want to have some kind of a connection.
Well, we should
to
have
it.
some kind of information already, because Bering Straits on the old federal building had solar panels for years.
They had, and they did not. They did not return any power to the grid at all. It was simply a reduction in their use in the building.
Okay, but so this is just a totally different thing. That I mean, that you're not returning any power to the grid. You know, it's kind of, you know, not with these new meters, probably not, but all the old meters they had then, if you put more in than you were taking out, it would run the meter backwards. And,
Yeah,
and that I would contend is not just generating power. You know, what you don't use yourself, you're giving back to the utility and knocking your bill down by spinning the meter backwards.
They've been disconnected for some time.
Sure, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
When they were producing it, it feeds back, right?
Yeah. it would if you had less or generating more than
More than
what
you're using. Yeah.
but that had been. I have to go back and see the information and the design on it, but you know, what they. I mean, those things worked much better than they had anticipated them to do. They did generate both in summer and winter. Sometimes you get a bigger sunburn in wintertime than you do.
well, in March and April for sure.
Right.
December, good luck.
right. So, you know, we probably could go back and figure out what the reduction possibly was, but it seems to me that the way that ended up ultimately getting installed was that it just went into the building and there was no opportunity for it to come back to us. I have to go back and look at the paperwork on that.
You know, I looked at their controllers once and I thought that it was, but I don't remember that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'm saying there should be a whole bunch of information out there. If we're going to do it for one organization, we should make it available to everybody else. And there's everybody else that wants to do it,
Yeah.
and not just do it on another experimental thing for certain people.
We do need to get something on the books, some kind of.
I agree.
Give it a try, learn about it, and then, yeah, everybody.
Because if somebody wants a bigger one, then we're going to want to have some kind of SCADA connection to it. You know, these things that are just on the smaller deal, not so much. And so, you know, I mean, originally they proposed a 20-year thing, and I said, Ken, well, that's a little long for us to say it's a demonstration. Let's just go with a 5-year thing and see how it works. And you know, that doesn't mean we have to wait 5 years to, but let's gather some information on it, and then we can.
Well, you know, there are right now, you can buy solar panels off of Amazon or eBay that have the inverter built into them. Plug them right into your outside outlet. You set them up right on your deck facing the sun, and you can start making your own electricity. And they've got a blocker in there that if they don't have power, they can't generate power. So we're not cooking line on a regular basis.
Yeah, there's some.
But they exist, and in a lot of places they're coming on full bore. So I would get ready for people wanting to do it here too.
What's the standard, Ken? That Anyway, there is a standard, here, electric energy produced by the project shall be delivered in accordance with IEEE Standard 1547, which is the standard for interconnecting distribution resources with electrical power systems, not EPS.
That's another thing that also Carl said, if there's instability on the grid, it will not push power out to the grid.
I think you're right. I think we need to start looking at that seriously, and I think that there can be some benefits to the utility of the community in money invested and what's returned.
Or is it gonna make our power plants less efficient than they already are?
Probably.
I mean, and are we
But I
paying
mean,
more as a result?
At some point, we're going to need to run a smaller generator if we keep,
Switch over to the old ones, you're saying?
yeah, and which they've been doing rather well, I hear. You know, with our battery and everything, has been picking up the demand part when 12's running over there, and then at night the battery's getting recharging itself.
Well, it's the
Well,
way
it
to
should
do it.
only be, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's probably the way to do it. Start small, see how it works, like you said, see how it impacts fuel usage and burn and efficiency and all that, and then see if it's worth doing something bigger. Right?
It'll just be, once we have 2 wind turbines up there feeding into it.
For how long?
For a long time.
Till the next time?
Hopefully there isn't the next time. While they're here, they're also examining the blades to ensure there's nothing while they're down, looking at the blades for any damage.
Okay, well, so is our insurance on them going away now that, are we gonna be on our own?
No.
How much more is that gonna go up?
Um,
I mean, it's like,
Well-
can we break out what that costs us?
For the,
Windmills?
oh yeah,
Because, I mean, if they're insuring not only the machine, but the loss of production, and there's nobody with a crane here to fix them, that's a year, could be a year's worth or more of production, the insurance comes down to be.
No, I would imagine that if they had a whole bunch of these things happen, I mean, because it's basically, just coming out of the reserves that the insurance company has on their books, and so it's not part of the premium calculation.
Well, but in the end, they don't make money, they don't stay in business. I mean,
That's
they
correct.
could do all these fancy things they want to do, but bottom line is, you gotta make money to stay in business.
But we did send a computation to them based on what historic production had been, and we didn't get anything back yet from the underwriter on it, but they are reviewing the information we put together.
Might have more questions after we read it.
Yep. Well, it's just in draft form here. We'll be making a few modifications to it, but yeah, by all means, if you see something that doesn't look right or you think should be different, let us know.
When's it anticipated to go over? Are they planning to do it or whatever?
Yeah, I think they're already installing it.
Oh,
Okay.
they have everything here.
Sorry, the dude just had a kid. I don't think he was coming up.
No.
So you have one for King Island too?
They haven't approached us for anything.
They have it directly, primarily through D-Island.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's the mover and the shaker for all of them.
She is formidable.
Anything else?
No, I think that was it.
That brings us to board comments. Or do we want to go over financials?
I think probably just peruse them and then any questions or, but essentially from a revenue standpoint at this time point in electric, we're up a little bit, and the water and sewer is about 30,000 behind what it had been in the past, and why we dropped on the water side and stayed the same on the sewer side. We'll have to look into that and see what that. Oh, I know what it is, because that actually is metered. People that use less.
Could be we fixed leaks.
Good point.
Somehow we got a whole bunch of extra lines in here that need to be, for accounts no longer used, that somehow ended up printing again.
Well, that brings us to board comments. Larry?
I appreciate the auditors being here. I was actually at the airport when Chris was meeting them there, so I'm glad they were here and did their work, and we're continuing to go down that road of getting everything current. It's going to be very important with our financial ability to get financing for fuel and everything, so I appreciate that. And then I just had a question about, has there been any progress with the micronuclear discussion? Have we heard anything on that lately? With the what? Micronuclear?
Oh,
So Westinghouse, the ones that we were talking to years prior, they're seeing they're looking towards supporting industry like data centers. That's going to be their focus initially. The most recent group here, Emerald, the barge guys, they have a draft feasibility that they're working on towards, but it's no study work yet. I wouldn't be holding your breath on that one anytime soon, Larry.
As far as being provided in rural Alaska,
I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
it's fizzling out as far as being provided in rural Alaska.
I think it's
Being provided in rural Alaska.
so they'll go for areas like data centers or industries, and then once they saturate that, they'll work towards the smaller areas.
Well, we need Cody back to put his data center in.
That's all for me. Thank you, staff, for your continuing to move forward with things here. So,
Pat?
I don't have anything. Looks, thank you guys for all your great work. Looks like you guys got a lot of projects, a lot of irons in the fire.
Well, to keep harping, I really think that we need to make an effort to have a budget, even if it's just on the back of a bar deck. I think that this is insane, not spending money and stuff and not having any approval or anything like that. I would like to make a resolution that the utility doesn't spend more than $10,000 without it coming to the board for a resolution to do it. until we get a budget. I mean, we don't have any budget. I mean, it's only responsible to at least put some kind of limits on how much money we're spending and where it's going and that kind of thing. So maybe some people knowing where it's going.
We will get a budget. Trying to get the actual numbers.
Well, if you don't, I'm gonna get up on the table, I'm gonna jump up and down and pound and stuff. And if I have to go to the city council and do it, and we will get a resolution to limit the amount of money that we can spend until we can get off our duff and make it important to have a budget. I don't know what else we're all doing, you know.
Audit was the number one, and we are about to have that behind us. So,
But the budget was again promised back in last November, December, as it has been for the last 7 or 8 years. You know, that we're working on it, we're gonna get it and stuff like that never comes to fruition. You know, but I think that if we limit the amount of money we can spend without looking at it real close, that will end some of that.
Sounds good.
That's all I have to say.
we will come up with a day for a work session here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna jump on with what Carl said, because city council is wanting our budget. City council is wanting our audits. City council wants the communication from Nome Joint, because the last 4 meetings that I've watched, they're asking for it. And they aren't getting it. They're not getting no information from Nome Joint. And I think we should have someone at the meeting. If you're out of town, I understand everybody's had their things going on. But if we're on the agenda, someone from Nome Joint should be there to answer their questions.
And I've had a discussion with the city manager as to what, that it's not going to be every meeting, but every, once a month on the deal. And that I have participated on a number of them on Zoom. So, if I don't show up, they can't ask me questions about other things unrelated to the utility.
So, just the last couple meetings that they've been asking, and they're concerned, and I don't blame them.
I did send them a memo to update them.
Is there one thing that is holding up the audits, or are we waiting on certain things, or
They're just going through their paperwork at this point, and like I say, I think they're done in 30 days.
Well, if when you send them a memo explaining it or whatever you're doing, could you copy the board?
Sure. A lot of times it's just a verbal report, but
No, that's fine.
Yep.
It's we get looked at sideways by the community because our manager's just doing whatever the hell he wants. And that's the perceived thing. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but
You want to put it in your utility manager's report that somebody was there. That way it lets us know that it's happening.
and then communication with Crowley, make sure the other person is CC'd on all communications.
what's that?
The Crowley person. Yeah.
We had 5 people from Crowley today
Yeah.
in on the meeting, and
So. Yeah. So it's like maybe they're not talking to Michelle, and Michelle is, not all involved.
I think that we had a good conversation today, and everybody is on the same page.
Awesome. That's good. Got a question on the man count. Everything's electric on that thing. Is it going to cause an issue with, is it feeder 2 or what, the main part of town? Right.
Don't believe so. The answer is it will not.
The next question is, are they getting a demand fee, or because they're going to be using a lot of power?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, that's all I got. And thanks for all the hard work. There is a lot of stuff going on with you guys. Appreciate it. So, I'll take a motion to move into executive session.
I'll second.
6:19.
Bots first. All right. Mr. Knodel,
Yes.
Mr. Emmons,
Yes.
Mr. Barron,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson. Motion passes. Move into executive session.
No.